Hey dudes, welcome back to another episode of our Rhomas Men's Team podcast. You are about to listen to one of our prior team meetings. If you ever want to join one of our live sessions that we have every Monday and Friday, head over to rhomas.com. That's RHOMAS.com and put your email in and we will send you a live link every time we record. We generally record on Mondays and Fridays. So if you ever want to be on the actual podcast, like we bring men up all the time to talk about their goals, talk about their obstacles, etc., head over to rhomas.com. And then also, if you want to help support the channel grow and also have access to exclusive content, book reviews, extra whiteboard sessions, etc., and some coaching sessions, head over to patreon.com and support us. We would love it. But if not, no biggie. We'll see you on the live sessions. Later, dudes. Enjoy this podcast. Timed it right because I didn't want to cancel on you, so I timed it so
we're live, brother.
Ooh,
sorry, bro. I didn't mean to hot mic you. I was asking Wes what time his flight was, so appreciate the timing. I was waiting for you. That'd be funny if you're like, yeah, it's fucking bullshit, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
potty mouth.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but dude, it's Monday. We're back.
It is Monday, man.
So I'm jumping right in. And I was thinking about this after Friday. I'm like, it's going pretty well. I like what we're doing. I've been getting tremendous benefit from it. And I feel like when we talk, it's like, yeah, it's cool. I feel like the biggest thing is in the Discord. I feel like that's where most of the stuff happens. And it's like, just the fact that exists kind of pumps me up. But I've been trying to figure out the best use of this hour. So I was thinking, and I want to throw this out to everyone and think about in terms of format. Like, what do you think would be the best usage of this hour format? We obviously have the idea of like bringing people on and talking. I think that's fantastic.
Yep.
And maybe I'm overthinking this, but I was thinking of something to that degree.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that I'm part robot, if not mostly robot. So the idea to me of making something more of an agenda type of structure always is appealing to me. So that, to be honest, Matt, that's where you counterbalance me in a good way, is that I tend to be over formal. So you're not going to have to convince me to say, hey, let's put some bullet points to this thing every day.
Yeah, no, I think we should. I think it'll be good, and I appreciate that, saying I'm like super cool, flexible, and open, and I like that. But the same thing happened to me with Church of Dogology, where like the freewheelingness can start to just drift off into kind of like, too of amorphous of a thing. So
sure.
I think it's always good to have something to deviate from. So what I'm thinking is, first and foremost, obviously, what's up, what's going on. If there's anything pressing, I think if anyone, including you or I, has anything pressing or anything, they're like, dude, it's either it's a problem or something cool that happened or something cool they've realized, just smash the button. A phrase I said I hate it, and I always say the phrases I say I hate. Just hit anything and say, hey, like I would love to talk about this thing, because I think someone saying guest lectures would be cool. I agree, that would be sick.
Dude, we have so many of them actually already recorded that
I forgot about that.
Oh, dude, we've got so much in the hopper. So, and I'm sorry, Matt, please keep going. I'm going to riff on that in a second.
No, go ahead, please. That was it.
So, I am absolutely abysmal at admin. Like, I love doing the stuff, like the core stuff, and then admin is just terrible for me, which is why probably many of you guys have noticed, like, haven't uploaded to YouTube in a while. Same thing with iTunes, etc. Similarly, I've got so many interviews that were done with men that I personally respect and Matt respects. So yeah, we've got so many of those. We've got a Rhomas University ready to go. I just needed to do the last 10% of steps. So yeah, the guest lectures is an amazing idea, which we've got a bunch in the hopper.
No, absolutely, because that was what I was kind of thinking of like, because I feel like there's you can record stuff and put it out as content, which is cool, and there's also like the just the meeting in and of itself, and just again I really like checking in with everybody and seeing like here, even when something like say I learned something, I'm like, hey, this has been tremendously useful, check this out. And, I think it'd be nice to kind of open this up, but also, like you were saying, Wes, add some bullet points. But I think having guests on would be sick. Having any of these, any one of the dudes who are on here as guests, like again, just don't be shy, dude. Jump in here. So that being said, does anyone have anything that's currently either bedeviling you or completely pumping you up or anything of that nature. And if there's not, you and I can always shoot the breeze. I don't have anything against that. I just want to make sure it's
Yeah. I love the idea of bringing people up, especially if you're working either to share a win or if you're working on some sort of obstacle. I think that's where like there's the most value because everybody's having them and everybody has similar obstacles. So
mm-hmm.
if we can bring up an obstacle and talk through it and get everybody's opinion, including you and I think that's super, super valuable.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. A couple people saying the stress and anxiety from post pandemic. I'd be curious to talk about that. Maybe the other thing that I've been really working on, and I love to hear other people's insights in this, is like trying to figure out what works the best for you to structure your day in, if that makes sense. Like for some reason, and I think this is just like, after trying a bunch of stuff, if I try to structure my day around strictly productivity, there's something about it that doesn't really hook me into like staying on task. I just get easily distracted. And I've been trying when I approach my day as more of like just the whole thing as a large meditation. I don't know why, but it keeps me on track. Like it keeps me disciplined towards that rather than being like, I need to get all this stuff done. Because when I really ask myself, I'm like, well, if I get it done tomorrow, like I kind of don't care, if that makes sense. Like I want to get it done and I know like it's important to get it done, but it's easy for me to kind of parlay stuff off like a day or so and blah, blah, blah. But when I started doing like the meditation stuff, I feel like that sphere of like having my day anchored in that, if that makes sense, keeps me disciplined, kind of keeps me motivated in some sense. And what I've been trying, I'd be curious to get other people's thoughts on this, or if they even struggle with this at all. But it's like, today I realized I spend so much time like deciding what to do next. And you've talked about this, Wes, where that's why you organize your day so you reduce that friction. So I've been really, and I'm making this my aim of the week, is to just like when I'm doing a thing, just be doing that thing and to not have like competing things I could be doing. Like a lot of times, to give you an example, I'll go, I really want to write. I want to work on this book, but I also want to do the thing for Psychnol, and I also want to finish this thing for Patreon I'm doing for Matt and Shane's. And then I just kind of like, while I'm doing the one thing, I think about the other. So I've been really making an effort to be like, this is what I'm doing right now, and once I'm done, I will go do the other thing, and like just if it comes into my mind, I just push it away. And it seems very basic, but it's like that's something that it's been helping me a lot, of like just fully doing the thing I'm doing and fully deciding exactly what I'm doing and how long I'm doing it for. And again, it's just a time blocking. It's like the same thing, but it's like for me, that makes more sense to me, and it just works.
Well, that gets back to one of the formulas that you and I, Matt, have talked about in the past. So on one sense, I agree with you. You say, well, it's the same thing as time blocking, et cetera. But also what I think you're saying is more than that, because yes, that might be doing the right thing, but the next part of that equation is doing it the right way. So that's workable for you. So I think one thing that has helped me in the past is we already know that the human brain is very much motivated and or moved by environmental stimulus. So that's why interior decorating can be such an enormous factor on what you do. Like this has been statistically proven time and time again. So, but I think in the absence of maybe that's why you and I, Matt, talked a while ago about creating your own little space, whether it be in the corner of a room or the room itself, etc. But creating it so that it enhances or implies a certain type of action. But let's say, I think you can go even deeper. Something that's worked for me in the past, and I'm glad to bring it up because it reminds me to do it, which is going into a mental space. So like whenever I go into a project, I visualize, if I'm having trouble doing that project, I visualize going through into another room, if that makes sense. Like making the decision that, now I'm going to go into my yoga room to do yoga. So, but replace yoga for, I'm going into my project room. But more importantly, I'm not only going into that room, who do I want to be, or who do I want to act as if I am while going into that room? And that's where it sounds so fucking silly. But in my goals book, I have different characters that I like to play. So it sounds ridiculous that I say it, but it works every time.
They do this as parts of therapy for people when they go like, well, here's the thing. Like a lot of times we convince ourselves, I have a humongous win to report, by the way. But But a lot of times you convince yourself there's just things that lie outside of your personality. You go, oh, that's not me. That's not me. And they go, all right.
Yep.
Actors act all the time and they're able to like do all these different things. So what if you went to school and just acted confident? Like it's a game you're playing with yourself. You don't tell anyone and just see as a fun thing, do it. And then people go, once they break, smash that like, imaginary glass wall of like, that's not me. Then you're like, oh, I can do this. And, it doesn't like, octopuses don't pop out of the walls and strangle me when like, there's literally no consequence other than me telling myself I can't do it. So yeah, no, sorry. And I totally agree with you. And I don't want to, the one thing you said to me that makes a lot of sense is like getting fully into the different mental space of the thing you're doing. It's very subtle and almost sounds like, yeah, obviously, but it's not very obvious. Like, dude, today I woke up, when I wake up, I decided I think I got up at like 5:45 or so whenever Brittany woke up. And then I was like, I could go back to sleep. And I go, so I'm like, let me just start my day with like a brief meditation and trying to organize like what exactly would it be best to go back to sleep or be best to wake up and start reading all my books. And I go, let me read all my books. Let me do that. And I'm like, all right, I do that. And then it's like, what do I have to do next? And like, I'd love to launch into work. Blah, blah, blah. Cause I have a babysitter now. And I go, oh, I got to take the trash out. So as I'm taking out the trash, usually I'm rushing. Oh, I got to rush it. I just was like, no, I'm going to take out the trash and make sure I get every little thing. Cause I always forget like something. And Brittany's like, you left that box behind the door. And I'm like, fuck. So like, and it's like just trying to take that attitude into every single thing I'm doing. And like, I constantly fail at it, but like trying to bring my awareness back to like these little things that I do rather than just being like the next thing. And it sounds dumb to explain it, but when you actually do it, it's like, it's pretty fucking cool. So that again, I'll report back at the end of the week, but I think that'd be a cool thing too, to like have people figure out like, this is the specific thing I'm going to work on. Obviously there's my projects, but there's always like a personal thing people can be working on. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think adding on that question, so I think there's three things. Visualizing going into a mental space that is now compartmentalized from the prior thing that you're doing. So it's not just some sort of long, endless laundry list of doing without any reward. And that Slay was kind of just saying in the comments that when he does certain things, he finds that he doesn't check off his task. He just ends up adding a new thing to the list. So I think that's the first thing, having clear and defined compartmentalization. Then also I think taking the victory as well. If I'm reading what Slay is saying correctly, which is why one of the things that I have on my goals list, and I suggest everybody have, is their trophies list. So any big wins that you get throughout the year, you put that in the trophies list in your goals binder. So that way at the end of the year, end of the week, end of the day, whatever it is, you can look back and report to yourself or to others what those trophies have been. Yep. Then pretending that you are a character who you want to be like. And as silly as that sounds, the matches validate it. Dude, it's so funny to me. You can see this with hip hop artists, especially actors, etc. Some of the most He-Men type of actors, if you were to see them in real life or meet them in person and like talking behind the scenes, they're not that way at all.
Yeah, they have British accents.
And it's so funny if you look at some of the most like, iconic rappers throughout history. These people, before Hollywood got a hold of them and could mold them into, and I'm not going to say names just out of respect, but like,
you don't want beef. You don't want anyone coming at you and beefing with you.
Yeah, exactly. But it's so funny. Like, you throw a couple tattoos on somebody, you give them a little bit of like limp when they walk, and all of a sudden, like, they're a gangster. But it's actually a good blueprint of saying, if that guy can do it, anyone can do it. So adopting that principle, I think, is phenomenal. And we all have experienced this to a certain degree. I mean, there's not a basketball player on earth that I've ever met who, when he or she was a kid, wasn't pretending they were Michael Jordan when they were playing. Like, so we all know what that's like. So why did we forget that as adults? And man, it is super powerful, just super, super powerful. And then asking yourself the final question of, how can I love this process? And it's so simple, actually, when you assume that there's an answer to that question. Like for me, dude, I swear, one of my common answers of like, how can I love this process? I just add like a mug of hot tea. If for some reason, it just makes the process more enjoyable. Like, I'm about to take, 6 hours of flights today. And I love that process because I ask myself, like, oh, how can I enjoy this process? Well, I get to enjoy my tea and they deliver me free cookies. And I get to sit there for 6 hours and just focus on whatever I want to focus on.
Yep,
So
you're
I
not
think a lot of
distracted
those
at
little
all.
tweaks.
Yeah, you can get a
Exactly,
bunch of shit
100%.
done. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
man.
sweet.
Yeah, dude. Dude, I will say this is my big win. I can't hold this in. So I had a wedding Saturday.
Oh,
Went
you
to a family
danced.
wedding. Did I never dance? I danced my
You
ass off.
danced.
But the fun thing, I danced my ass off. But the fun thing I did was like, first of all, I had like almost like a revelatory experience where we're sitting there, we're doing it, and, I'm on the dance floor, obviously, like, my same old weird, like, I feel kind of weird and awkward. But I was even
Yeah,
then
yeah.
just whatever. I'm just dealing with it, having fun. And then Brittany was like, I'll let you in on a secret. Like when you follow the drum beat and you just kind of basically tap your feet she explained it in a different way, but the way it made sense to me was like when the drum hits, my feet hit, and all you got
Yep.
it's very simple. And I
Yep.
was like, oh my God. I was like, that's what people are doing. I always just try to like imitate people. I was like a bird, just like watching a dog, just like, I didn't understand. I was like, that's what rhythm. So, dude, I had a blast doing that. And then, like, even then, still, she, like, Brittany went and sat down. And I'm like, dude, I'm a dancing machine. Let's go. And she was like, no, I'm
Yeah.
going to take a break. Go dance with your mom. I'm like, I don't want to go out there by myself. And anything that, like, I'd hear that I'd be like, I don't want to do that, I would just ignore myself and go do it. Hey, so much
Yes.
fun. So much fun. And it's funny. I saw Troy said white man learning rhythm is like the first time a caveman discovering fire. While we're doing it, I turned to Brittany and I'm like, did you just tell me the black secret? I was like, do I know this now? So it was fun. The whole thing was fun. It's and this kind of goes to a broader point, but again, you get out of your like, how do I look? And all I would think about is like, I just want my cousin whose wedding it was. I want them to have the most fun, memorable wedding, and me
Yeah.
sitting in a chair doesn't add to the fun of this experience.
No.
Like even if I stink, it's like, yeah, remember my cousin stunk and he danced, and it was like we just laugh. Like whenever I see someone who stinks at dancing, I just laugh, and I'm like, man, that's cool. They're
Oh,
still able
hell
to
yeah.
do that. So, and again, it's like I the whole time just had a blast, and it was very fun. And it's like you'd be surprised how the things that you clearly define yourself as, doing the opposite of them, how much like awesome stuff lies outside of your self construct. So,
Oh yeah. Well,
and
dude,
yeah,
it's so funny. That was an aha for me too. But please go ahead.
then that's what Kaizen was saying. You're just bringing value and positive vibes to the party, and it's like, and no, and dude, it's like, and this is kind of a weirder thing, but it's like how much you kind of project judgment onto others as if they're judging you, when in reality they just don't give a fuck. Like they just don't
No.
care. So
Nope.
it's like that was a big kind of another aha for me at this thing. So it was fun, man. The whole thing was a blast. Whole thing was an absolute blast.
Although I do have to say this. I do have to say this because just in case any men are thinking this is a real thing. I have heard several women say that I know, and I've been in there for these conversations, that they have been slightly embarrassed of their partner's inability to dance. I do have to say that only if that's an objection that somebody's having that's coming up for them, because I do think we have to address that. I think we got
Sure.
to address that. How would you address that, Matt?
Well, first of all,
Because it's a real thing.
now that we know the secret, all you got to do is step on the drum beat. And if you just sit there, if you can just do a manageable two-step, no one's going to get embarrassed on you. The only way you're going to be embarrassing, in my opinion, and I've been this person before, is if you clam up and get negative. If you're having fun, you exude it. You exude fun. If you're having a bad time and like forcing yourself and getting into that, like, I mean, dude, for me when I was out there, I'm like, dance. We give ourselves the license to just move around like weirdos for like a few hours. So it's like,
Right.
just take it, have fun, move around, have a good time. If you're not feeling the song, you can leave. You can come and go as you please. All of the weirdness is just in your head.
Yeah.
So it's like dancing is oh man, it was so bizarre. I mean, and I'll be full disclosure, I didn't want to drink, and I'm getting to the point where I can go do this stone sober, but I did
It's hard, bro.
I took a mushroom microdose. I had one drink and
Okay,
took a mushroom microdose, and the weed gummy was me picking out, and I paid for that later. But but dude, I'm telling you, man, that for me, that would have been I'm baby stepping it, but that would have been me having like 6 fucking rum and cokes and then just still being like weird and clammy and then having a hangover, where instead I genuinely had so much fucking fun and was like, I could even dial that back a little further to the point where I want to hit them just stone sober and just bust moves. And that's the plan.
Yeah.
Um,
I think it's a great, you might be I can tell you for sure, for me, you're hitting on probably the number one thing that I have to work on. And like, that would be that would be iconic. Like for me, like a trophy, one of the biggest trophies I could ever get is, could I go out into any scenario and dance like cold sober by myself? I am plenty comfortable right now with doing it with a partner because I've done partner dancing for so long. Or let's say salsa dancing. I could do that for hours. I've danced for years salsa dancing, 0 drinks. But straight up freestyle or like American style dancing,
Yep.
that's fucking tough, man.
Dude,
that is
I could
so hard.
I think I could go somewhere by myself. I don't think that would be a problem. I think I mean, again,
you can do what?
I think I could I think I could work towards. It's the weddings, dude. Again, I'm going to a wedding in July. I might be the only white dude on the dance floor, dude. And it's like, it's just me. I'm bringing weirdness. I know this. But again, I'm a spectacle. I know this. So it's like, I would kind of avoid. Now I'm going full. I'm just going to go full into it and just have a ton of fun. And just, it's like, and there's no, like, I'm not saying I'd be like, oh, you suck. I would just be celebrated. It would be like, oh, this is hilarious. There's some weird white guy dancing.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, it just shows you how much you can bring negativity and just constrict your life in a thing that's just, nobody cares but you. And it's like, once you're like, well, I don't care. And it's like, it was just a good feeling, man. It was a good feeling to like, just get outside of, again, like you were saying, Wes, like things you would go, no way. I'm just not. And I would be mad at Brittany. I'd be like, can't you understand? I'm just not a dancer. Like I'm not. And it was like, she was like, this is kind of unacceptable, dude. Like get out here and dance. You're kind of being a pussy. And there are weird dynamics. When you're on the dance floor, it's like, it takes people into a strange place where like, because everyone's kind of looking at each other. And I'm not saying it's like on the verge of turning into an orgy or anything, because it's a whole family there. That's fucking weird. But you're tapping into something kind of like primordial when you're dancing with a bunch of people. And it's hard to explain. But again, I was just on a very little bit of mushrooms at a wedding. So my views on this are a little skewed. But dude, I will say it is it's a weird, dancing is weird. It's a very weird thing. It's very fun and enjoyable, but like there are dynamics there. My one, again, I promised myself I wouldn't brag, but my wife's cousin, my cousin's wife was saying like, damn, dude, she asked Brittany, like, what have you done to Matt, dude? His dance moves have improved dramatically.
Nice, man.
Come on, man. Come on.
Dude. Well, no, you've always been a great dancer. I feel
I lost my way. I lost my way.
Yeah. I feel like it's because you married a woman whose culture is around dancing, and now you feel subconscious about it. But I would have.
It's true.
That's
it's
what
true.
I would feel.
It's true, man.
Dance all the time.
I know, man. I know. I've told Brittany, this is my claim. I think as racial tension gets worse in this country, I get worse at dancing. So I think that was just my body taking on the racial problems of the entire country, if not world. But
dude, I legitimately think that we should all go out and strive there to dance, because I do think if you can do that, in my opinion, sober, like if everybody can do this sober, it symbolizes a level of confidence and not getting in your own way.
Yes.
Because dude, when you go out there and try to dance, if you go try to take like a hip hop dance class or something, you can see the mental limitations ultimately manifest to physical barriers.
Yes.
Like it's like, I could tell you to move your arm in this way, but as soon as I tell you to do it in a more like, let's say, feminine way, or a way that's weird for you, all of a sudden you can't do it. Like I can't either, right? You can just very like squared off and geometric. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very fascinating.
Man. I mean, dude, and that's what I was thinking about while I was out there, because it was like a lot of my older like uncles and like my dad and all those guys, they chill. They sit outside and smoke cigars. Yeah. That's one of my big hangups. I'm like, this, they all think I'm like a fucking bitch or like I'm gay for dancing. Like I was, again, forgive the terminology, but that's just what it is. But so now I was like pumped because it was like me, my cousins, we were getting after it, dude. And I'm like, it'll be nice for like younger kids to like see the older men dancing, and then that's how you cut out all like the weird shit around it and people being like clammed up, because the girls just want to dance, dude. They're there, they're just doing the thing. They just want to fucking dance, man. And like when you get out there and you're tearing it up, they love it, dude. They just love when you're tearing it up.
So is the goal, do you think you could ever do it stone cold, like dead sober?
Oh, yes. I'm working my way to it. And I think I'm going to, again, and this could just be my crutch, but it's still a major improvement. I really, if people are out there and they're, they're not like if they're not in a space where they're like not in like recovery, or like the recovery forbids this kind of thing, the microdose of mushrooms is so nice, dude. It's 0.1. It's barely perceptible, but it kind of alleviates a lot of that weirdness. And you don't. I had one glass of wine, and I ordered another one because I just was like, I don't need this. It's making me sick. I don't even want this. And it was
Yeah.
just fun. It's a very good stepping stone because I'm like, it's so much less of a load than alcohol. And then it's like it's just one little thing. Again, it's not so it's like obviously like Molly or like a OxyContin, but it's not to me. I think it's a in terms of any if you're like, hey, I need some sort of chemical supplement. It's like supplement. It's like that's I would say probably the least taxing for people.
But are you going to try to do it with zero? None.
Yes, I'm working my way. I'm working my way because I took 2 of them and I ate a weed gummy like a pig. So like I was definitely in an altered state. But I want to take away the weed gummy, do 1 or 2 at the next wedding, and then the next time I go to a thing, stone sober. So I'm going to gradually reduce myself till it's just me in the flesh, then see how I do.
So are you tentatively committing to dead sober this July dancing at the Black Wedding?
Oh, man, I don't know. There's a lot on the line. Although I have a couple. I think I have a couple of them to go to. I have a couple to go to. So, yeah, man, I think I could settle. And again, hold my feet to the fire. And Troy brought up. He goes, when you're on a microdose and you have an edible, it boosts the effects of the edible. This I learned, and yes, it's absolutely true. There was, it's a little bit much, but I'm not perfect. All right,
like, you were absolutely messed up.
but here's the thing. Yes, kind of. But I at least was like I wasn't drunk and sloppy. I was just like
totally agree.
I would like dance and then sit down and analyze like how repressed my family was for like an hour, and then be like, whoa, I'm just projecting judgment on everybody, and be like, all right, let's go hit the floor again. So yeah, I was definitely not like completely sober, but I would say, and I think this is fair and honest, that I made a crucial step toward being sober and dancing was an impossibility. I said, no, I can't do that. I had that night, and I went, well, I learned the secrets of rhythm. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Now I feel way more confident to just go do that. Like again, eventually sober. I might actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say yes to the thing in to the wedding in Nashville or wherever we're going to, Tennessee. I'm gonna say I'm gonna approach that thing stone sober and just try to get it, dude. I will say that. Why step myself down when I can just rip off the Band-Aid and just be great?
Oh yeah. So that's July. The July is the Tennessee. You said Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if I feel like, and I think this is fair, if I feel like I am just failing at it and being weird and fucking up the vibe of the party, I'll figure something out.
Hell yeah.
So it's
I could totally get down with that.
But it's like, dude,
I commend you. That's a big ask.
It's going to be a big one, dude. But I remember, dude, it was like, again, I don't want to just blab on about myself, but that was a big one, man, of sitting there and being like, just hearing that, again, I was still in a state where I'm like, I was pretty altered, and still, that's how strong that shit is, where it's like, I'm not going to go dance. I'm not going to go to the dance floor by myself. That's weird, all that stuff. And I just literally heard that going on in my head and was like, yeah, I'm actually going to just do the opposite. And again, it was like, my mom was pumped. I'm out there. Like everyone, it was like, oh, hell yeah. Every time you're dancing, anyone who joins, you're like, hell yeah, another person.
Yep.
So yeah, man, I think I will take on that challenge. I think you guys have pushed me to. I'm gonna try to go, and I think I can do it, dude, and just have a blast, and just go stone sober and just rock it, man. Because that is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is not to need any kind of substance at all. If you want to enjoy them, knock yourself out. I'm not against them, but the ultimate goal is ultimately being okay with yourself enough to just rock it as you rock it, and then you bring that to everything else you do.
Oh, dude, well, number one, as always, like I always try to be one of your number one cheerleaders, and then I simultaneously get a little upset with you because then, if you go and do it, that means like there's a part of me that feels that I've got to go and fucking do it. Because I'm totally cool, like I said, with the partner dancing. I'm almost there for, let's say, like a wedding, because salsa dancing's different. You don't just salsa dance at a wedding. So I'm like 85% of the way there, 80% of the way there, partner dancing. But I haven't considered like just straight up solo. Like if my date goes and sits down, let's just say at a wedding, like would I be able to just riff on my own?
Dude.
And I don't know, like it's honestly making me sweat a little bit.
I had my boys. My cousins were out there though. My cousins were out there. It was like my brother was out there. I just was out there by myself, just having a good old dude. It was fun.
What brother?
Billy. It was silly Billy. And my
nice.
cousin Pat was out there. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, Billy was cut. And that was the thing too. I meant to get some vid, but I was too lost in the moment, dude. I couldn't take vid.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Is it too tall of an ask?
No, not at all. Brittany will get it. Brittany, next time I'll have Brittany absolutely get some video of me. But it's like, dude, it was a big move, man. It was like, again,
It's a huge move.
Perfection would be just going stone sober and doing it, but it's like I also got to be easy on myself, man. So it was like, it was it was pretty fun. I had a good time. I didn't leave with all this resent. And again, it's like, imagine this: you have insecurity. You're like, why is Brittany asking me to dance? You're fucking embarrassing me. Then like you have like a suboptimal time. The place lacks you that could have been there, adding to the positivity, adding to the fun. And then there's just you in a chair, like being. It's like nobody likes that, man. You're not preserving anything. There's not like, oh, I'm preserving my dignity. I don't want to be. It's like, just go have fun, man. And if people just all started laughing at you, you could just be like, yeah, fuck you, I'm not good, and just go sit down. And it's like, you're still not at a loss because people are like, that was hilarious, dude.
Yep.
So it's like, again, the big loss is just sitting on the sidelines and being like judgy and weird. So,
dude, I would legit. I mean, let me know if this is too much of a stretch. I will speak for myself, and I will also put it out there for the rest of the guys. I would venture to say that if we can conquer mastery of dancing, like conquer our mentality over dancing to the point where music's playing out at lunch, you could just get up and go dance or whatever that is, where you just did it. I would venture to say that would be the victory of the year, if not the majority of life, because you think how that would open up so many opportunities.
Yes.
I was
thinking this is how boy bands start. It's like, dude, what are we doing? Well, this is what Ray said. He was like, how can you apply the dancing lessons to non-dance situations? And I think that's what you were about to kind of say. So what do you think about that?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Well, I mean, number one, like, you cannot be unhappy and dance simultaneously. It's just one of those things. Like, could you imagine if before every fist fight you've ever gotten into, like, you and the opposition had to dance for 5 minutes? There's no way. Like, the world would be a better place for sure. And I think there's so much pent up aggression that comes from that. Like, literally, like you said, right? When you go to a wedding and your wife says, let's dance, like, your brain makes up all these things, but the reality is we're just scared of dancing. It's like, I don't feel like it. Like, I will, maybe, like, later. Leave me the fuck alone.
Let me be me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, and you cling. That's where the meditation comes in, because you start clinging to all these self concepts, and then you start to meditate, and you're like, I can take or leave my thoughts, I can take or leave my self concepts, and it's like, what does this situation call for? Just me adding to the fun, and again, that's, to me, I think that helps with all these other different situations you can be in. Like, another thing I have a weird thing around are conversation circles. If I'm at a party and there's people talking in a circle, it's like I'm a vampire to those. Like, I walk to them and I'm just like, they don't need me in here, and I'm like, I'm out of here, and I'll just go sit somewhere. But that's the thing. Like, oh, you can go out and dance. Now there's people talking. You can go approach them like, hey guys, what's going on? And like, you're not being intruder, you're not being weird. And if they treat you like that, it's like, all right, sorry guys, I didn't know this was an exclusive gathering, blah blah blah. So I think you can, I think it kind of translates to a bunch of different areas that you swear are like your personal non-negotiables.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. God damn it. Okay, so if somebody were interested in, let's say, making progress in this area, what would you prescribe?
Marry a black woman.
Easy enough.
I don't know. I can't. That's pretty much my. That's what helped me up. But no, I think Kaizen's saying it. You just got to get in there, dude, and do it. Like, I think there seems to be an approach you can take, and I've thought about this of like, I can like watch YouTubes and study some moves. It's like, yeah, man, you could do that. It's not going to hurt anything, but it's like, you just got to do it, dude. Just got to do it.
Well, okay. So for the analytical nerds like me who cannot accept that, because like if somebody gave me that advice, I wouldn't be able to move. Like, I would just.
No, I know exactly. The freeze happens big time, dude. And you're like,
yeah.
It's like, I don't have to move technically on the dance floor. I can just be here.
Yeah. So the advice that you got by Brittany was perfect, like absolutely perfect. Where she told you, and somebody told me this a while ago, act as if you're playing the music with your feet.
Yeah.
Right. Like, that's very similar to like playing the drum. Oh yeah, like that. Those are the types of things.
It's like Guitar Hero.
ASB is here. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man. It's like Guitar Hero.
Yep. I swear to God, like those little types of things. And then you can learn. Like I would tell everybody, go to a dance class. Or if you can, look up almost like beginner level dance in some sort of thing, and it will start to teach you that there's an underlying science to the art. And I know some people will get mad at me for saying that, but there for sure is. Like, there's math to it. And that's what Brittany was hitting on. So if you can start to do that. Another thing, now you've motivated me. So on this plane ride, I'm going to be, I'll tell you the methodology for anybody who wants to hear it, so maybe they can practice it. Or
you're going to turn it into the soul plane, dude.
yes, exactly. I will go on YouTube, and where I've struggled in the past is, let's say, hip hop dance. I don't really like, it doesn't feel authentic to me to go out and do some like hip hop movements that are extremely bold. That just doesn't feel authentic to me. Like, to do that at a wedding, right? Like, I just don't want to do that.
Absolutely.
But I could see probably in every dance video I watch, there's like one or two moves that I really like. Let's just say that it's like, oh, I feel like that's kind of authentic to me. I feel like I would do that. So what I'm going to go and do is screenshot those moves. And I've done this for different dances in the past. I'm going to go screenshot those and video capture them. And then I will put it on loop, like create my own little dance loop with, let's say, 20 different moves that I like, put it up on video. And that's what I will practice on a weekly basis. Just trying to mimic those moves.
Dude, I think ASB also said there's the dance channel on our Discord, and he said he already posted a progressive series of videos for beginners. So I'll probably be looking through that. Now that I understand what rhythm actually is, I was like, I get it, obviously. Now I know how to like sync my body with it, which is a great feeling, dude, to sync your body with it. I'm definitely going to check that out. And just, again, I don't want to be a hot dog. I don't need to show off. But if I can stay in my little two-step and every now and again, bust a little something, and it was a band, too. I have a harder time dancing to bands than I do DJs.
Dude, I just can't wait to see you do, like, full, like, air split on the dance floor. Like, that's what I'm waiting for, bro.
It's coming.
It's for sure coming. And I want to thank ASB. I feel like this is kind of a good time in the universe for us all maybe to consider this dance goal, because ASB's been asking me every once in a while, saying, hey, Wes, what the fuck? Like, you got to get on this dance game. So ASB, thank you very much, bro. And thanks for making the dance channel on the Discord. I would say, everybody on this team should consider it, as weird as it sounds, but I have a very funny feeling it'll be super liberating for all of us.
It is. And it's like, do you want to give off like, more weirdness for people to inherit, or do you want people to watch, your kids or whoever watches you and like, oh yeah, this is cool. I'm about to go hit the dance floor. Cause I saw a thing one time, and I think it was, the guy, Paul Chek, was talking about like, he's like a holistic health guy. And he was talking about, like, when people not like lose themselves, or when people start to get like depressed or feel kind of lost, one of the things that he uses to kind of like see where people want to stray, two of the questions are like, when did you stop dancing and when did you stop singing? And it's like, usually you can go back to that time and be like, like, why do you stop doing that? Because it's one of those things, like, I just don't like it. It's like, it's kind of enjoyable, dude. It's pretty fun. Like,
don't
to be out with your
right now. It's too overwhelming of a conversation. If we go down that rabbit hole, dude, like, you're done. Like literally, you just picked the two checkmate moves on my entire human. I'll be done, dude. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Well, that's the cool thing too. Is like, that's what choirs are about. It's like, you don't have to be the best, but it's like, it's genuinely good for you. I sent you that little thing before about the choir, how it lowers. They studied the cortisol in choir members, and it was like significantly, if not like 40% lower in people that don't sing in choirs. So it's like, it doesn't matter what your voice is. If you have enough people, you'll eventually achieve harmony. So,
yeah. No, you're fucking tugging on some strings right now, man. Like, definitely.
It was a big weekend for me, man. That was a. Oh man, it was just so nice to not like go back. Whenever you're resentful in dress clothes, it adds like another sinister element when you're like sliding off your slippery socks and you're like, I wish you'd stop pressuring me at these things. It's just like, I don't know what it is about being like sad in dress clothes. It stinks.
All right, fine. All right, you. So that's fair. Like, I will move that to the top of the priority list. God damn it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm telling you, man. These are the things that make life great.
It's true.
We used to be rooted in singing and dancing, and then we just started being. I think a lot of it was we got commodified, where it's like, well, that's we see professionals, and we're like, well, I'm not professional. Who am I dare to do these things that like I should just pay money and watch someone who spent their whole life doing it. It's like, yeah, that's cool. It's cool to admire that, but like, all this stuff should be part of everyone's daily life. Like a little bit of music, a little bit of dancing, and or whatever's your thing on that level. If writing's your thing, just fucking write stuff. But like, yeah, man, that was that was the big one. That was the big one. So it's like
you're almost like, I'm wondering if we should put that on the scorecard of like,
Oh,
some sort of like art of life, like dance, sing, play music, something like that. Like
yeah, dude.
I'm feeling very inclined to do that.
It's that I think it's dude. I think it's a humongous one.
Okay,
You can
I'll put it
extend
on there.
that to like writing, poetry, all of that stuff. All the samurai warriors, dude, just sit in grassy hills and write little haikus, and it's like, yeah, dude, you're supposed to do that.
God damn it. Okay. All right. All right, man. I'm on it. I'm on the train. I'm on the regimen, man.
Hell yeah, Gunther's gonna
I
start
I
wearing
will
short
start.
shorts. Gunther's gonna start wearing short shorts. That's what I'm talking about. Dude,
I Yeah.
let's go.
I can't wait to put some videos up on the Discord and to see everybody else's dance videos. I feel like it's going to be. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's going to be an obstacle for me, definitely.
It'll
But
be
I think
big, dude.
it'll be the biggest trophy of the year by far if I can dance.
Wes,
That's why I appreciate you calling me out on
I'm
this.
gonna serve you. I'm going to serve you in the form of a video, and it's up to you, dude.
Oh,
If you want to step up to the streets.
God. God damn. Okay. All right. It's on, man. Let's do it.
It'll be fun. We'll have a good dude. I'm telling you, that was like, it was so funny how counterintuitive that decision. I literally just did the opposite of what my brain was telling me to do, and the opposite of what my brain was telling. That's a hard concept for people to wrap their heads around. Because when you get too tied into
Yeah.
your judgments, you're like, no, this is me and I'm right. And it's like, no,
Yep.
you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
You're protecting yourself, and you're most likely hiding the truth of what's actually going on. And I knew this all
Yeah.
along. Like, dude, you're kind of being a bitch. You're being,
Yeah.
you're letting down. This is one of your wife's most favorite things, dude. And you're going to be like, well, I don't like it. It's like when I talk about like ancient history, and she's like, I don't really care. I'm like,
Yeah.
why won't
Yeah.
you watch this YouTube with me? But yeah, dude, it's like, yeah. So I think it's one of those things, and that's where that was like going back to last week when people are talking about like being single versus like having a partner. It's like, again, there's pros and cons to both, but I will say if you're actually in a relationship, people start pushing your buttons, and you can either be like, stop, get off them, or you can be like, well, what's this one do? And you're like, oh, that actually
Right.
changed my life a little, so within reason, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
God damn it. Okay, fine. I'm in, man. Let's do it. Let's do it.
dude. But yeah, that's pretty much, that was the main thing. If anyone has anything else, but I would say the challenge of this week would be just to absolutely pursue things that you are like, no, absolutely not. Just be like, well, just do it, see what happens. Do it
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah. And for those people who are stuck on the dance thing, I'll never be good at it. The method I'm going to try, just in case it helps, is like just pick one move and do it by yourself and just do it. And then just see if you can do it to music, whether it be like a spin or a little tap or something. And I have found that for me, it's like, wow, if I just focus on not how I look, but how it feels, as weird as that sounds,
Yes.
it just feels great.
It
Especially
does, dude.
you bust out a little spin in the mirror, right? Like we're in the
Come
bathroom.
on,
It feels
man.
phenomenal, dude. It feels phenomenal.
Dude, I mean, that's the challenge, dude. To wash your hands in a public bathroom after using the bathroom, wash them, then just hit like a wicked spin and just walk
Oh,
out.
yeah.
People are like, damn, that guy fucking rules.
All right, man. You sold me.
All right.
You sold me.
So yeah, that's
Cool.
that's the challenge of the week, dude. Just to get absolutely uncomfortable and just try to have fun with it. Because
All
your
right.
uncomfort typically revolves around you trying to preserve some self-image or to protect yourself against judgment. It's like,
Right.
just let go of let other people judge, man. That shit sucks.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, brother.
That sounds
Wes,
good to me. That will be my goal for the week, to start to practice dancing. To get in, let's say by Friday, 4 dancing practices by Friday.
hell yeah. No, I think you're right, man. I'm definitely gonna watch whatchamacallit, ASB's beginner thing, and I'm definitely gonna watch all of those for sure.
Okay, fucking done. Can't
Oh,
wait to have a choreographed dance with you at your wedding.
It's gonna be awesome, dude.
Just you and I. That's it. Nobody else is allowed on the dance floor.
We'll be tearing it up, dude. That's gonna. I
Fine.
mean, I don't even want to think about I have so many dance challenges, and then my wedding will just be the absolute apotheosis of all my dance skills.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
All right,
it'll be
man.
awesome.
Well, yeah, we might have to record that for the dudes and put it up
Yeah,
on
dude,
on
of
the
course.
Discord.
I'll
Hell
probably
yeah.
go live the whole night. Just fucking.
Oh, that'd be nice, GoPro style. Hell yeah. All right.
All right, man.
Sounds good.
Have a safe
All right,
flight,
brother.
Wes.
Thank you, dudes. Oh, and for anybody hopping on the meditation today, I will not be on there, guys. If you hop on the meditation today at 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific time, whoever's there, just lead it. So I let it go. I let everybody come in up until 5 minutes past the 30-minute mark, so 5:35, and then I put up I share my screen, some sort of rain or ocean or anything like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so whoever wants to take that, and then I set the timer for 20 minutes.
All right. I'm gonna try to make that today.
Okay, cool. I will, and Troy, to answer your question, I will send the link right after I get off of this
Nice.
video.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, dude. Have a safe flight, man.
Dude, my heart's beating a little bit. All right, man. I'll see you later.
Dude, just have fun. Everyone have a good week. This will be nice.
All right, later, dude.
Later on.
See you guys.